Hello and welcome back to the AA NBA podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Hammond.
And I'm Aditya.
And not a lot of news this week on the NBA front. Um,
There's one big thing though, but we can get to that
yeah,
in a minute.
yep. Do you have anything first?
I mean, the news from sideline sources on Instagram basically saying the NBA has been offered the whole block on the Las Vegas Strip to live and play games by the MGM resorts.
Which is fucking insane. Like that's Las Vegas basically saying, yeah, instead of like reopening, which they shouldn't do, they're like, we're just gonna completely like offer up this like $1 billion or this place that's worth billions of dollars for you to resume the league,
Yeah.
which is probably better for them than the $0 that they're currently making.
Well,
Uh,
they'll
with the
still make
strip
profits off of stuff
being
like
closed.
sports betting and stuff.
They will, but like the strip is closed right now.
Yeah, yeah. And they're
Like
still not
nobody's
gonna
on
have.
the
I don't think
strip.
they're not gonna have fans or anything at the game anyway, right? It's just gonna be
Yeah, but
like
I would assume that
players.
the NBA would have to ink some sort of like I would assume that like they're gonna the NBA would they not like I guess they offered it up, so I guess they're kind of forfeiting the option to make money off of it, right?
Well, I don't really know the details about like financials or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, they just says that they have offered a whole block. I don't know if they're offering it for charge or what. I'm assuming they are, but I don't know like how much or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Um,
also, there is a. I've seen a lot of stuff that the NBA could potentially resume in August or July, and then it would that would push next season's start date back to December, which honestly I think I would like more anyway.
I think they said right that they're planning to start the next season on like Christmas or something around there, right?
I think so. I just saw December, but I saw something about Christmas like a month ago.
Yeah. The only problem with that is if they have the NBA season going on the during the WNBA season, um,
Well, they always overlap anyway.
but not by much. Usually, the WNBA season takes place through the NBA off season, right? Because the NBA or the because the playoffs and finals go on through a little bit of the WNBA season, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure it takes place during the NBA off season. So then,
Yeah,
if there's that overlap, because the WNBA just made like the max salary cap go up to like 500K or something. Like the most a player can make is like 500K. So if they do that and then they lose a bunch of revenue because now people are just watching the NBA instead, that's not good.
yeah. So the WNBA usually starts in May
And then it goes
and
through
then goes
July,
through September.
September. Yeah, so most of the NBA off season.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they would navigate that, but I don't think that it would be. I think this is more just about the NBA making revenue, and I don't think the NBA really is focusing on how that will hurt other
Well,
sports
obviously,
leagues.
yeah.
Because, of course, it'll hurt, like, MLB, too, because a lot of sports fans will watch basketball over baseball.
Well, I also like, yeah, I can't speak for obviously everyone, but I don't watch baseball anyway. So,
Yeah, the only time that I watch baseball is in October, so that's not gonna mess up my baseball viewing. I
yeah.
if the NBA like August and July are notorious for being the worst months for sports because
Wouldn't
there's
be
no
anymore.
football, no basketball. Well, some there's the WNBA and there's the heat of the MLB season. So the it's basically the least exciting part of both of those seasons because like it's the
Just
WNBA's heat of the season and the MLB's heat of the season, like right smack in the middle.
I guess the nice thing about this would just be that um, you can get most of the NFL season done and out of the way, and then you wouldn't have to worry about that overlap with the NBA, except for like the Super Bowl and playoffs and stuff like that. But for the most
Yeah,
part, like the NFL season could get its stuff out of the way, and then those viewers would then sort of migrate to the NBA.
I mean, personally, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm trying my best to resume the season in June, July, or August, something like that, and then
Well,
starting next season in December and just doing like a 55 or 60 game season to get it back on track.
well, the thing is, I wouldn't mind like if they did the December to August. I think that's just financially better for the NBA, right? So if they try to get this season done whenever, because they already have to push back the draft and the combine and all that stuff anyway. So if they just get the season done whenever they can, if they even can, then maybe have a little bit of a longer off season and then just start the next season in December. I don't know. Because
Yeah, I don't know.
however you look at it, they benefit from starting in December, right? They have less to
Yeah,
lose.
having the first game of the season on Christmas would be,
Epic.
yeah, it would be it would make them so much fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, not even, it would be insane. But then if they did like a 55 or 60 game season to get it back on track, because and Christmas we're what, usually 15 games in, 20 games in,
Mm-hmm.
about that. So
Well, I
doing
don't.
that wouldn't throw it off that much. And then because I think the NBA is going, I don't think the NBA is going to permanently want to do a December to
Well,
August
I
season.
thought earlier in the year before all the coronavirus stuff, I thought there were like rumors that they wanted to permanently start it later.
There were rumors that they wanted to shorten the season, which would probably, yeah, which would mean starting it later. But I don't know.
Oh, I
Like,
thought
do
there
you
was like
think they would
actual reports saying they wanted to like they'd still have a longer like maybe not 82, but they'd have a
like
like
75 or
78 or
something?
something like that. Yeah, and they'd start like this from December to August or something around there. Because I thought that's what they were
Yeah,
saying. Because I thought we talked about this on earlier episodes, probably.
yeah, we
But
have.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, cause like personal, like I don't really care like that much as long as we get basketball back eventually. But I wouldn't love a December to August season. But
really?
it also doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, I like it when basketball starts in like late October, cause then we get like a month where we have like all four major professional sports going on, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but then that ends up losing revenue for all of them because of viewership is split.
Yeah, that's not a great part, but you know, it's cool to have so much going on in one month.
Yeah,
Um, but if they pushed it back to December to August, I wouldn't really have that much of a problem with it.
I think it'd just be
Actually,
cool.
that would be cool. That would be fine because then there's football in the 4 months without NBA.
Right. I think it'd just be cool to have the opening night on Christmas. It's like the best
Yeah,
Christmas gift of
yeah,
all for a basketball fan.
yeah, yeah. That would be nice actually. Or even if they started it on like December 15th and then had
Yeah.
like the second or third game of the season as the Christmas game, I wouldn't care. Like if
Mm-hmm.
they did that. Like this whole I don't care. I don't. Yeah, I don't care when they started as long as they started eventually.
Well, yeah. I just want
Um,
basketball back.
but it sounds like it's looking like it is more and more likely every day that there's going to be an NBA season
Mm-hmm.
that
Well,
resumes.
because there's so
So
many more
that's nice.
options, right? Everyone's opening up new
Yeah,
options for possible comebacks.
yeah. It's looking like a lot of major cities are opening up again, which is bad. But if they're doing that, that gives way for the NBA to think about opening up again.
Well, because the NBA is already open. Like they said that in like soon, whenever like some states open up again, those players can go back to their practice facilities. So
Yeah, like I think Georgia. I think they were being cautious about Georgia actually because it was opening up like too soon.
yeah.
So they were like, "Ugh, maybe we shouldn't do Atlanta." um. So yeah. So you want to talk about this game?
Yeah, sure. Um, you want to go first, or you want me to start it out?
I don't care. I'm good with whatever.
All right, I'll go, I guess. So going into this game, I have not watched much Hakeem at all. Like I know I've seen highlights or whatever. But I haven't sat down and watched many like full games of his. And the first half of this game was so boring. There
Dude,
was a
yeah.
bunch of fouls. a bunch of just bad missing. It was like the Knicks game. The first half of this game was like that Knicks game.
Yeah.
It was just bad, boring. I turned the game up to 1.5 speed just to try to get on with it.
Yeah, it was boring.
They turned it up in the second half though, which was good. Second half was a lot more
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah, so this game, I thought of this one because it's like one of the best finals games ever, or really one of the best second halves of a finals game ever. And it also has like two of my five favorite players ever, and it's Hakeem and Penny
Mm-hmm.
on either side. I really like both of those guys. And I saw this game. There's a 30 for 30 about Shaq and Penny in Orlando, and it talks about this game pretty extensively.
Right.
Because like the
Well,
whole narrative around this was it was Hakeem and Clyde Drexler, who were teammates in college, kind of reuniting, and then they go to the finals, and so it's like the older, more experienced team versus the younger
was this the Magic's
stars
only
in
finals
Orlando.
appearance, or did they make it again before Shaq left?
They did not make it again before Shaq left, because Shaq left. Shaq would have left the next summer because he left in the summer of '96.
Oh yeah, this is '95.
And they did not make it again. I don't even think they made
Well,
the conference
because then
finals.
Jordan came back, right, and then
Yeah. Um, they. Why don't you vamp for a second? I'll check it out.
okay. Sorry, I'm eating right now.
Oh yeah, no, I found it. They lost to the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. They got swept,
Yeah.
but they did go like 60-22, which is still really good.
Well, that just shows how dominant MJ was. Those Bulls teams.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
and that was that would have been the 72-10 Bulls. So they weren't even the one seed with 60 wins.
yeah. Um. So first half, there's just a lot. It was a lot of posting up, and for some reason, I don't know why, but like the Magic kept posting up on like four Rockets players and trying to put it in. Did you notice that? Like they'd have
Yeah, I
Akeem
did.
and then like three other people just crowding this one dude, and they just throw it up, and I was like, why? Shaq did
Yeah,
his thing, but it was like,
it was a weird game because the Magic were kind of playing Mori ball.
yeah,
They were taking a good amount of threes.
and they were missing all of them.
They were missing so many.
It was like I don't know how many times you did this, but there's like one or two times where I looked and I just saw Penny stare a guy down, standing right in front of him, and then just pull it in his face, and then he bricks it. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah. So let's talk about Penny in this game.
He
So
wasn't
Penny
bad,
Hardaway
but he wasn't
was
like great.
not bad.
He wasn't
Penny
great.
Hardaway. Did Penny Hardaway start at small forward? That's weird. Penny Hardaway shot 44% from the field. He had 26 points.
Yeah, he had a good
Uh,
game.
Shaq also had 26 points, except he was much more efficient. And then Horace Grant was balling in the first part of the first quarter. Like he was so in this game, the Magic jump out to kind of a big lead in the first half, and they
They were
don't
up by
really
like
give it up.
10 some, right?
Well, they get up to like 20 at one point in the first half, and then
Yeah.
the Rockets get it back down, and they go into halftime down 11.
Yeah. Well, the second half, I don't know if you want to talk, like, we can talk more about the first half, and then we can, like, the second half was pretty big for the Rockets, but we can get into that. Like, just the third
Yeah,
quarter specifically, but we can get back into that when we move on to the second half.
yeah.
I mean, the
So
first.
this, yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead.
I was going to say, the first half, it was a grinded out, slow, and bad. And there was, like, it was every. Since I had it on 1.5 speed, and it was every few seconds there was a whistle called, and I was like, oh my.
Yeah, there were so many fouls called, like to a point where it was like aggressive.
Yeah,
How much the refs were calling fouls. I was like,
I
okay,
pulled up the
Jesus
box
Christ.
score just to see like how many fouls there were. There was 43 fouls called this game.
Yeah, that was
Keep in mind, there's 48
pretty
minutes
ridiculous.
in an NBA game, and I guarantee you, like 30 of these fouls were just in the first half, because the second half was not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was insane.
Yeah,
And
this was just one of those games where it's like the first half is just so shitty.
yeah, it was not. I would have been fine just like watching the second half. I didn't miss anything important. Like,
Yeah, I noted this game kind of backs up the old adage, which is like the biggest knock against the NBA that like people like to say is NBA games don't matter until the fourth quarter. If this was the only NBA game you've ever watched, that would be what you think,
yeah,
because that was the truth in this game. That like if the game stopped at halftime, the Magic would have blown them out.
hmm
Like it would have been
it
a
was it was like
blowout.
it was like they were again. Like you said, they were up like 20 at one point.
Yeah,
It was
it was not close.
yeah no
The Rockets couldn't get anything going on offense at all. Like period. It was not nothing was going in.
Clyde Drexler took a lot of threes, which was surprising for me. I didn't know he was like that. But again, he didn't make any of them.
Well, he was also pretty old at this point. Like this was his like 12th season.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
So he had lost like a lot of his game was built on athleticism,
right.
and he would not have had that at this point.
Dude, I don't know.
Um,
37 years, he could be throwing it down.
yeah, he was 32. So he was or I'm sorry, he was not 32. He was no, he was 32. So he was 32. Not
Not super
bad.
old.
Not
That's like
super old, but
end of your
like
prime.
yeah, yeah. But still not as athletic as those Portland Clyde Drexlers.
Right.
Um, Clyde Drexler has the perfect NBA career, by the way.
Perfect.
Yeah, if I'm like a Hall of Fame basketball player that's not like the greatest of all time, I want Clyde Drexler's career. 10-time All Star, 5-time All NBA, and one ring. Like, can you ask for anything better if you're like a just Hall of Famer?
You could ask to be Michael Jordan's career.
Well, yeah, that's why I said like not greatest of all time, like not Michael Jordan, not LeBron, but like if you're so there are like kind of tiers to the Hall of Fame, like there are the guys that are like at the very top, like Michael
Right. Yeah.
Jordan, LeBron, Larry Bird. But if you're like more of an average, not average, but you know what I mean,
Your average
like
Hall of
in
Famer.
you're just your average Hall of Famer. Can you ask for a better career than Clyde Drexler? Like he had it all. Like he didn't have to demand a trade. Like he got traded,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it was really like I think it was more Portland just being like, "Fuck,
Well, yeah, he was
we got to
getting
get
older,
something out
right?
of this
Get the
guy while
value
we
while
still
you
can."
can. Yeah. The
Yeah,
only thing, it would have been more perfect if he had won a ring with Portland.
yeah, it would have, but that's a pretty good career sheet. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
He only played for two teams. Like he retired at 35. Like he didn't have years where he was like just holding on a little too long.
Yeah. That's kind of what I like. I don't like when players like play until they can't walk anymore, right? And they just cling on to their roster spots because then it's sad, right? Especially for like legends when it's these
Yeah,
legends and it's like no team wants them anymore.
like what Patrick Ewing did.
Yeah, it's like because like these guys are NBA legends, right? So you don't want it to be like they go out because they don't have a choice and no one wants them. It's better when they go out on their own terms.
Yeah, so like Clyde Drexler or like
Dwayne Wade.
Michael Jordan twice or Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
like uh Michael Jordan went out on his own terms twice and then or really once cuz the suspension. But and then
Yeah.
he came back cuz he wanted to and then he retired again cuz he was like fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
Too old for this shit. Um I have a feeling that right now I can't we're going off on a little tangent, sorry. But I can't really imagine ever seeing a LeBron James that puts up like less than 20 and 6.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
but
gonna
I
be. It's
feel
definitely
like
gonna be weird to see.
but
It's
I
gonna
feel
happen
like
for sure.
you think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuz on the one hand I feel like LeBron will never give it up. Like I feel like LeBron's going to want to play until he's like 45.
Right.
But on the other hand, like I don't see how he could not decline.
One thing. Here's the thing. I think he obviously he's gonna decline. It doesn't seem like it because we've been saying it every year for the past 3 years. Like this is the year he's gonna decline a little bit, and he never does. I think what he want, like obviously I don't know. I think his plan though is to like be like he wants to wait for Bronny to get into the league, right? Because that's where he signed his Lakers deal into.
So what, 5 or 6 years?
Not even, right? Because if he can come out of high school, that's another 3 years.
If he can, so like 3 years.
Yeah,
Well,
great because he's going into sophomore year of high school, right?
yeah, but he also was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Bronny would get like. I don't know if he's like as of right now. If he was a senior, he probably wouldn't get drafted
Well,
#1
he's
overall.
he's a freshman though, like
Yeah,
so he's
I
still
don't
got
know.
promise. But I think what LeBron wants, obviously, again, I don't know, but I would assume he wants to wait until Bronny gets into the league and then just be like the veteran for Bronny's
Yeah, but
team.
I don't see LeBron ever as like a productive veteran. You know what I mean? Like a David West sort of guy. You know?
Yeah,
Like I
well,
see LeBron as like once he loses it, he's like he's like I'm gonna hang it up. Like I
well, that's the thing too is LeBron in the past like 2 or 3 seasons has really added on like a serious 3-point shot to like where you have
Yeah,
to
that's true.
contest him, so that way he can
Yeah.
keep it going for another year or two, just being like it's not a role player because it's LeBron and it feels weird to say
Don't
he's
say
a
a three
role
and D
player,
role player.
but
That's
like you know what I mean, like
he just turns into Robert Covington, but without the defense. like, like it's just a tall guy who can shoot threes. I don't ever want to see LeBron do that. If LeBron
yeah,
ever does that,
I
that
feel
would
like
make me sad.
he needs to do like if he drops below like 20 points, I feel like he should if he needs to keep his career at a 20 point per game status.
Yeah, I don't. It's so hard to imagine right now. Like other guys, like Steph Curry
Hmm.
or Kevin Durant, I could see like declining like that and staying in the league, but I just don't see it with
Well, the
LeBron.
thing with LeBron is we've
Like
seen him be
LeBron's gonna
dominant
retire
for
after
so long.
26 in a third place in MVP voting. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because the thing is, we haven't. It's been so long since we've seen a LeBron that's not in the MVP race. And it just feels weird to think like it's gonna come to a day where he's not in it again. Because since like what his second or third year in the league, since like after that he hit the MVP race and he's consistently been
Yeah.
there every year.
Yeah. It's like Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan was the MVP every year he played, but he didn't get it every year because that would have been boring.
Yeah,
Like
voter
it's the
fatigue.
same thing with LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron James has been the MVP really
except
every year
for
since like
I
oh
wouldn't
06,
give
oh
it to
07.
him. The year he missed the playoffs
Not
last
last
year,
year,
but
but
you
like
know.
he LeBron James could easily be like a 10 or 12
Oh
time
yeah, for
MVP,
sure. Especially
but he's
because
just
he's
not.
been dominant for so long.
Yeah, he could have won it. I like he had a strong case, not stronger than James Harden in 2018, but he like if he had gotten it over James Harden, nobody would have like I don't think anybody would have freaked out.
Well, here's the thing with that MVP for James Harden is he's also one of those guys where he's been in the race every year for like 6 years, but they just thought like we have to give it to him. He's been here for so long.
Yeah, that was kind of a not a makeup call because Russell Westbrook definitely deserved it in 2017, but it was like you didn't get it last year. You're having a pretty similar, if not the same season this year, so we're gonna give it to you, and your
Yeah,
team's better.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, so back to this game.
Hmm.
So second half now. So Rockets go on like a 20-6 run, I believe, in this first and second over the course of the first and second half.
Yeah. Well, Kenny Smith, the Jet, bro.
The
He
Jet.
was just they. The Magic kind of pissed me off in this game because of how little they were guarding the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Because Kenny Smith had like
Yeah.
7 threes and most of that was in the third and fourth quarter. And then like
Yeah.
Robert
This
Ory had
run
like six
was
threes too. They just
Big Shot
weren't.
Bob,
Yeah, they
baby.
just weren't guarding the 3-point line, and it was bad.
Yeah. Robert Ory was 4 of 10 from three, so which is good. Kenny Smith was 7 of 11
Yeah,
from three.
they just didn't
Seven
guard
of
him.
his 8 field goal makes were threes. He had 23 points. Really, the Rockets' scoring was really spread out.
Yeah,
Hakeem had 31, Clyde had 23, Robert Ory had 19, Kenny had 23, and Mario Ellie had 18. And then
The
pretty much
bench
nobody
did
on their bench
nothing.
scored.
The bench did
Yeah,
nothing.
Sam Cassell had 4 points, and that's the best
Well,
bench
he only played like
scoring that
12
they got.
minutes, right? No one on the bench really played.
Yeah, yeah. So they were running the um, Rudy Tomjanovich took a page out of that old Bulls. What is his name?
Phil Jackson?
No. The guy who ruined Derrick Rose.
Oh, Tom Thibodeau?
Yeah, he took a book he took a page out of. I'm kidding. That's not really true, but I'm
Well,
taking.
the thing with
He
Tom
took a page out of
Thibodeau
the book of
is
Tibbs.
the thing with Tom Thibodeau. It is kind of true because the Bulls were winning, and Derrick Rose didn't need to be in the game. And obviously, hindsight's 2020. But Tom
True,
Thibodeau
but
has a bad habit
Derrick
of
Rose was
never
gonna
playing
tear
his
his
bench.
ACL either way.
Right.
Like
And
he
obviously, like if
like
he had
if it didn't
known,
happen in that game, it probably would have happened eventually.
yeah, like
Like so that's why I can't blame it on Thibodeau. It's like I think
obviously,
Derrick
yeah.
Rose actually does have like weaker knees than
I'm not saying
the
it's like
average
all his
person.
fault, but it also doesn't help when you have bad knees that your coach
Yeah,
plays
it
you
was
all
definitely
every minute
like
of every game.
yeah, it was a problem.
Yeah.
He
And
doesn't have Brandon Roy knees. That's not what I meant. But he does have he does have bad knees. I think.
yeah,
Fuck. Can you imagine having Brandon Roy knees? That would suck.
that would be. And imagine having Brandon Roy knees and then also being really good
Your
at
job
basketball and
relies
knowing
on
that
you. Yeah.
you can't like maximize it because of your
He was
knees.
so fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Same with Tracy McGrady, right? Was his knee injuries as well?
Yeah, but Tracy McGrady had a longer career than Brandon. Like Tracy
Yeah.
McGrady played like 16 years.
He
Like
also
Brandon Roy played 5, and
well
Brandon Roy
the
was
thing with
All
Tracy
NBA
McGrady
twice.
is that out of those 16 years, some of them were like when he had those injuries and he was just kind of going around to different teams, you know.
True, but
Like
T Mac
he
is
definitely
like
still had a longer career, but some of those
yeah.
years were like, you know, we try to forget those.
T Mac's like a 7-time All Star though. So
Yeah, and he
like
averaged
and
like
Brandon
32 points per game in a
yeah,
season.
Brandon Roy was forced to retire because his knees were so bad.
Yeah. Well, he had that one playoff game. I forget what year it was. It was against the Mavericks. I don't remember what year it was. It was against the Mavericks, and he came out in like the fourth quarter and brought them back from like a 20-point deficit. It was insane. But that was like after all his injuries. He didn't really play at all that season or in that series or whatever. And in that game 4, he just like came out and started clipping and brought him back. And then he went back to not playing much. But you know, it was good. We're going on a lot of tangents on this episode.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look something up.
Okay. I guess
But
the
you can
reason
keep going.
we're going on all these tangents is this game, while the second half was much more entertaining, it was still pretty straightforward. There weren't too many crazy things going on. Like they went into OT and Nick Anderson missed 4 free throws in a row. Making a single one of those could have won them the game, but he didn't, you know.
Yeah, so that's that's the main reason that I wanted to watch this game is because that's like a kind of, iconically painful moment
Mm-hmm.
for the Magic is Nick Anderson missing 4 straight free throws, and it's not like they were down and him hitting those free throws would have tied it.
They were up
They were
3.
up by 3, and him hitting one of those free throws would have won them the game.
Yeah.
They would have won if he hit one of those 4 fucking free throws.
At that
oh my
point,
God.
just send Shaq to the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Shaq was more likely to make a free throw than Nick Anderson at that point. Like, God.
It was.
And that was like, Shaq was awful from the line, like for his career, but like especially in those Orlando days, he was like a 40% free throw shooter.
Yeah, well, he sort of, because once Hack a Shaq became an actual thing, you know.
Yeah, so Shaq was about 50% from the line that year.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for Shaq.
Those are like those Ryan Hudson type free throw numbers.
Yeah. So, yeah, not great, but not horrible. Like, he would have been more likely than Nick Anderson to make a 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, oy vey.
And,
God damn.
I have it written down here, like Robert Horry, I forget exactly how much time was left in the overtime period, but he hit like a massive 3-pointer, dude. It was insane.
Yeah, Big Shot Bob, baby.
Yeah.
That's what he
It was
does.
like deep too. Like not super deep, but for 1995 it was a pretty deep 3.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So. So this game goes into overtime because Nick Anderson can't make any fucking free throws.
Yep.
So Houston is up 3. Oh, so Kenny hits a 3 to tie the game after Nick Anderson misses all those free throws. That
Yeah.
was his best shot of the game. They drew that up for him. And then Orlando's last shot of regulation is a mess. They only had a second and a half, but it was still so bad. Like, it was so bad. They barely even got a shot off, really.
Well, yeah, they only had a second.
Yeah. So in overtime, Houston's up 3 with 9 seconds left. Dennis Scott nails a 3. So it is now a tie game.
That was a nice inbound pass, actually.
It was a nice inbound pass.
Because he passed it to Shaq, then Shaq threw it back.
Yeah, and he was like wide open too.
Yeah.
So that shot goes in. It's looking like it's going to overtime. There's 5 seconds left. Houston has to do something. So Tomjanovich calls a timeout. They draw up a play, which is basically just Clyde Drexler getting to the basket, which is what Clyde Drexler did best for most of his career. So Clyde Drexler, drives. He takes the layup. It goes like right in the angle where you don't want it to go, where it's like right outside of the box, and it goes like kind of around the rim almost.
Yeah.
Hakeem tips
He
it back
just tips. It's like he doesn't even catch it. He doesn't rebound. He just like does a little love tap to it and puts it back in the basket.
It's like if he had done that a second sooner, it would have been offensive interference.
Yeah.
But he did it at the perfect time where it was like exactly just right off the glass, back in.
I think it's
Perfect.
safe to say that is the most boring game winner of all time.
Yeah. But it was it was exciting in the moment because it was like, oh, it's going to another overtime. No, it's not. No, it's not at all.
Yeah. But it also wasn't exciting in the moment because it was like a tip in, you know?
Yeah. So that's the end of that game.
Yeah. I'm
not
really
the worst
happy
game
that
we've
the
watched.
second half turned it up because otherwise it would have been the worst game you've ever watched.
I don't think anything's going to be worse than that fucking Bernard King game. I'll be honest with you.
I'm telling you, the first half of this game was the exact same.
Yeah, it was.
You know?
It was. You're right. But, like, I mean, at least
like,
there
if it
are
continued
players
like
in
that,
this
and this is a finals game, that was a regular season game, right? Like, it would have...
Yeah.
It was building up to be a bad game, but they turned it up, which was nice.
Yeah. So what game are we watching for next week?
So we were initially gonna do, I think it was Game 5, right, of 2006. However, I decided, well, I didn't decide, but I brought it up to Aiden before we started recording. That game has like 60 some free throws, or not free throws, fouls total, and every game in that series has like 40 or 50 foul calls. So, we got to pick a new game. Because I don't think I'd want to watch.
I mean, unless you want to do that, like
I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I mean, I kind of picked the game for last week, so if you want to do that, you can.
I was thinking because after this game was over, I was doing like some, I don't want to call it research because it wasn't that, but I was looking into like possible games we could watch, and I know we didn't want to do anything like super recent, but I feel like this game goes under the radar for a lot of people, which is 2016. Western Conference Finals Game 6. So, yeah, this was the winner go home.
Oh, fuck!
Game.
This was the
Warriors
Clay game.
Thunder. Klay Thompson drops 19 in the fourth quarter to bring the Warriors back and send it to Game 7, and then we know what happens from there. But this game, I feel like no one talks about. Let's see if that's on YouTube
because I absolutely want to watch that game.
It's a fun game.
It's fucking awesome.
Let me look it up. I see.
We would likely. Oh.
Did you find it?
I
see this. It's 2 hours long. I don't know if it's the right game.
It's Golden State Warriors, Oklahoma Thunder, Tim Thompson. It's in Russian, I think.
Oh, I wasn't
Uh,
looking at that one. I was looking at the one the NBA put together.
was it a black shirt game?
Huh?
Like where the Warriors wore black shirts? Like the black
Um,
shirt jersey?
I don't know.
Which, by the way, oh wait, no, it's a Saturday primetime game.
Mm.
Oh, fuck. This is the Curry game. The
Wait, what are
Curry
you?
shot at the buzzer.
Oh, the
The
regular
Curry
season game.
bang! That one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this game though. The 2016. If not, if we can't find it, we can just, you know, pick something else. But I do want to watch this.
I want to watch that game. Is it on NBA.com actually? Probably not.
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
found.
it's definitely not because they don't have
And
any game past like 2015.
are you watching the thing from Tim Thompson? Did you already check that one?
Yeah, that was the Curry
Ah,
game.
all right. We'll see if we can find it on the internet. If not, we'll watch a different game. Let's let you guys know for next week. I don't want to carry this on for too long.
Yeah, we should pick a backup game just in case we can't find it. So what's our backup game?
I don't know. I didn't do 2016 finals game 7. I don't know. We know we can find that one for sure, right?
WCF game 6. Well, if we can't find that one, we could watch the Kings get fucked in the ass.
Uh, you're gonna have to elaborate a little bit on that.
2002 Western Conference Finals game 6,
Oh,
the rigged
um,
game.
yeah, that's just gonna make me angry. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree.
I don't know. We can either find. I'm sure like the iconic games like 2016 finals game 7 will definitely be available. So stuff like that, you know.
We
And
could watch Rockets Knicks game 6,
wait,
1994.
oh, I was confused. Like, when did the Knicks and Rockets play? But yeah,
Yeah, it's
1994.
finals. It's like
That
it
was a
was
bad Knicks team, wasn't it?
no, that was a finals team.
Yeah, but it was the team that wasn't that when Patrick Ewing got injured and that team like barely made it to the finals. Or am I thinking of a different?
No, that was 2000 1999, the strike season when they were the 8th seed.
Yeah. Okay. So which one is this?
So this one, so not a lot of free throws.
Mm-hmm.
20, 44 total free throws attempted, which is not
That's
bad.
yeah. It's I guess that's 22
That's
fouls.
about
Yeah.
average.
Well, how many fouls were there? Because there are also sometimes like on the ground fouls. You know.
Where do I find that?
It was just in the box, like team box
I
score.
don't know. The only problem is the final was 86-84, so
So
it might be
grinded
kind of
out, slow
boring.
game. Yeah. Again, we can figure this out and then just let them know
Yeah.
before we start recording or whatever. I don't know. If anyone cares, I can just put it on Twitter.
I'd rather watch that 2016 Game 6 though. Western
Yeah,
Conference
if we can
Finals.
find that, that'd be dope.
Actually, let me look. Let me look something up real quick. What was the 2016 Finals game where LeBron and Kyrie both had like 40 points?
Was that game 3? Maybe game 2 or game 3?
It couldn't have been Game 2 because they won it.
I think it might have been game 3 then. Let me look it up.
Game
It was game
5.
5. Yeah, game 5.
So 2016 Finals Game 5. Full? It doesn't look like it's on here. So we'll find some.
Yeah, we'll find some. We'll figure it out. And again, I can just
Yeah.
put it on the Twitter if
Yeah.
like when we do figure something out. So yeah, I think that's all we got, right?
Yep, that's all we got.
All right, cool. Remember to like and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Comment and tell us why we're stupid and why our opinion was wrong.
yep. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Oh, follow our Twitter.
Yeah, follow our Twitter. I have it in the description of every video. So
Yep. All right.
yeah, see you
Bye.
guys.